Hi there, Julia Lyons here with your Herbal Ally Post of the Week. And this week I'm actually not going to highlight a specific plant, but I'm going to talk about the general category of wild foods. I'm really excited about this, so I'll talk about the category today, and then in the next weeks or so I'll kind of highlight different foods, wild foods that are available in the Colorado area. And we'll get started there. So wild foods is something that I'm really, really passionate about for a lot of different reasons. Eating wild foods has really changed my life for the better, and I hope to tell you why. So first off, wild foods are highly nutritious and they're completely free. I think it's really interesting how our power has kind of been taken away from us with the food that we eat. We can maybe grow a garden in the summertime, but for the most part, we're all kind of going to a grocery store and buying foods. And we have a lot of options, but we don't have that many options for things that are completely chemical free, completely natural. There's organic, but they still use different products that are considered organic, but I'm sure some of us might not feel that way. So these wild foods are a great opportunity for us to really stand in our power and take our power back. I believe that we have a birthright as humans to have access to highly nutritious, natural foods. And so foraging for wild foods really helps us to stand in our power and say, this is my birthright. I have the birthright to be healthy and to have access to free, healthy food. I don't have to pay extra for the organic apples or, whatever. So it really empowers me to go and forage for my own food and connect with the earth and with these things that are growing wild. So it's a really beautiful thing. Wild foods are much more bioavailable with their nutrients and vitamins because they're in their original form. A lot of these domesticated things like spinach, for example, we think are high in iron, and, I'm sure a lot of times they are, but if we go and forage wild spinach, which is also called lamb's quarters, wild spinach chooses where it grows. And it only grows in soil that is high in iron and other minerals. So when we're eating wild spinach, we know that it's super, super dense in iron, and it wouldn't grow anywhere that doesn't have iron in the soil. So if it's not in the soil, it's not going to be in the plant unless they're adding things and feeding their plants with certain things. And really, what's better than that? Things that just choose where they grow. That brings me to my next point about wild foods, is that wild foods have free will. They choose where they want to grow and they choose where they want to thrive. So when we eat wild foods and we take them into our body, it actually strengthens our own free will so that we can choose where we want to grow, how we want to grow, how we want to thrive in our lives. And actually strengthens our free will like this. And that is the way. Besides all the nutrients and vitamins and minerals that I get in my body when I eat wild foods, I've noticed the biggest difference with it strengthening my free will and me being able to make choices for my life for the better, to say, I want to do this, I don't want to do this, that's how it is. I have free will and I'm going to make my choices for myself. I just love that. Every time I think about that, it just sings to my heart. So, I really want to get the message out about wild foods so that you all can benefit not only from having access to free, highly nutritious foods. You can get the vitamins and minerals that you need that aren't as bioavailable or as available in general. And you can strengthen your free will. A lot of times from eating these wild foods, you might be able to cut back on the supplements that you take, or you can make supplements with these wild foods with vinegars and, things like that, which is, again, just amazing. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you can very easily incorporate wild foods into your diet. Pretty much anytime that you use a green, you can substitute a wild food for that green. So if you make kale shakes or smoothies with greens, you can add, yellow dock or wild spinach or dandelion leaves, all these things that I'll introduce in the future weeks. So you can do it with smoothies. One of my favorite ways is to make pestos with these foods. You can make pestos, smoothies, goat cheeses, or you can make like a green goat cheese and add like catnip or again, all of these different greens. You can make a green hummus, whether you make your hummus from scratch or just buy hummus and then blend up the greens and oil and mix it in there. So as creative as you can get with greens in general and food is how creative you can get with wild foods. So I really hope to share this wisdom and this information with you so that it can empower you to make these changes in your life that will give you more power and more positivity and comfort with where you're getting your food and how you're supporting your body and giving yourself what it needs. So as always, if you have any questions, please comment below. Much love to you guys. See you next week.